Welcome to High Gluttony.
I'm Becca.
And I'm Gretchen. And in this episode, we're making ricotta gnocchi from Cooks Illustrated. And we make our own version of the brown butter sauce that's on the recipe, but using Maitake mushrooms as well. We say this is a world level 2 recipe, not too complicated, but it does have a fair amount of steps and some challenges that we came across. So we thought we'd start up front and let you know what we kind of discovered along the way.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things we wanted to say is that it did take us about an hour to get fully prepped for the recipe. And then it did take us 3 hours in total to complete everything, but we were obviously talking a lot and kind of messing around a little bit. So, that probably won't take you 3 hours, but you never know. It also did take closer to 20 minutes to toast the bread for the breadcrumbs as opposed to the 10 minutes that they said. And then one other note is that I am not a fan of parsley. And so I used all basil in this recipe instead of half basil and half parsley inside the gnocchi. So feel free to make it your own because it was actually delicious.
Almost like a basil pesto ricotta gnocchi then. Yeah, we could put pine nuts in there or something.
Ooh, that'd be delicious.
Extra. Next time. Anyway, back to what we were going to talk about.
Back to this recipe, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so we also have ideas about the breadcrumbs because when we were doing it, they said to basically take your bread, your raw, sliced bread, and put it into what is that thing called?
Food processor.
Food processor, thank you. I am high. This is the high of the high gluttony. Put it in the food processor, but we disagree with that. I disagree with that because we found it made the breadcrumb sizing kind of inconsistent, which was maybe what kind of the purpose. I think maybe they thought, I don't know. Can't explain the reasoning behind it. I'll have to go find that issue of Cooks Illustrated and see if they say for some reason that they recommend doing it this particular way. But my preferred method of making breadcrumbs is always to toast the bread or let it stale first, get some of the moisture out, then grind it because just find that the sizing becomes more consistent. And then if it's still like a little bit pale, they were saying kind of a golden color, which I think also is, it's a texture assist thing because the more liquid you draw out of it, it's a whole thing. Anyway, I've rambled now for a full 30 seconds longer than I thought I was going to. So toasting the bread first, in my opinion, produces more consistent size on the breadcrumbs, which I think would be an advantage. Rolling, I think, was it the rolling?
Yeah, rolling out the dough got really difficult with the different sizes.
Yeah, and then I was also having problems with my Parmesan, which I just was a fine grate instead of like a
shredded.
Like
that. Not shredded.
Like the stuff you can buy at the grocery store. That's tiny little balls of cheese.
Whatever that is.
The Kraft Parmesan cheese.
So I accidentally made my gnocchi a lot larger than they were supposed to be, but it ended up working out really well because I think it held those different breadcrumbs a little bit better. So not on purpose, but try it.
Yeah, try a slightly larger rope, because I think they were recommending a 3/4 inch, right? Rope, because yours were a little bit closer to maybe an inch or slightly over an inch, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
And so then your happy accident and my not so happy accident was that they were like, don't handle the dough too much. And so I went to probably an extreme. I underhandled mine. It didn't get my gluten worked enough. I could have manhandled mine a little bit more, but I did not. Definitely want a little bit firmer feel to it. So
yeah,
on the sauce.
Talk a little bit about the sauce. Yeah,
we pretty much followed the recipe that was with the gnocchi, but then just sort of added Maitake mushrooms to it. It was like we put sauteed shallot, but we thought their cooking time of 1 minute was a little short for us. We went for a little bit longer cook. We felt 5 minutes was closer to where the sweet spot was for us.
We swapped out the lemon for wine that we both just chose at the, on the fly sort of thing. And then one more thing is that Gretchen does an awesome video of showing us how to do a parsley mince. And she also shares some tips for how to keep your herbs fresh for cooking. So be sure to check that out on Instagram. No, sorry, on YouTube.
Maybe we'll put it on Instagram.
And like I said, we do try to take pictures of the things that we mention, especially in this case, the food processed ricotta and the minced herbs and the cooked gnocchi. But
we forgot.
We're
sorry.
Sorry, we're high.
We're high.
But thanks for joining us.
And we hope you enjoy this week's high gluttony episode.
Okay, have fun.
Today, I'm using my brand new, I got a new arc lighter. Do you know about these? I love these.
Just things. Like a little like spot lighter thing?
Yeah, it's an electric lighter. Hold on. Yeah, it's very cool. I'm obsessed with these things.
Oh, because you can get right down in there without like touching anything. So Gretchen's just enjoying a little hit.
Yeah. Today we're having my blueberry. I believe this is still 2018 crop that I'm enjoying. I'm going to have copious amounts of this coming in this year.
That's exciting.
I know I did a bunch of clones and put them in like a planter box, like a bigger, long planter box. And they're all thriving. So I was like,
yeah, it's going to be a good season.
They're actually going to go. Not like last year when none of my plants lived.
Right.
Well, although I did manage to kill all of my seedlings so far. So I'm not. Oh, I meant to send you pictures of the ones you gave me.
Oh, yeah. I was going to ask you about that.
Getting quite big. I'll send them to you after.
Where do they live now?
They're in my backyard. So.
And did you planted them into the ground?
No, I just do pots. My soil in the ground is shite.
It's like not worth the work.
I just put them in pots so I can move them around. But yeah, they're going strong. I was a little worried. I did have like one or two of them that died.
That's okay.
Like, bummer. But three of them lived, and one of them is quite large. It's getting like. It's like a couple days ago, it was like this big, and now it's like this big. Like it's like 6 or 7 inches tall.
I swear to God, it did that when we first got it too. I remember I was sending you pictures because I was like, I just can't believe this. Like we go to sleep and we wake up and it's double the size, and I don't understand. Yeah, it's like Little Shop of Horrors.
We were discussing right before we pushed record here. You were asking if I found so we're using the recipe from Cooks Illustrated. They're always good and consistent, and that's one thing that like people kind of don't realize, especially because everybody and their brother has a fucking food blog at this point. Not all recipes are created equal.
Sure.
So we like Serious Eats because they do a lot of testing. We like Cooks Illustrated and America's Test Kitchen and all their brand because they also do a lot of testing. And then I have a few other cookbooks around here that I'm sure we'll break out at some point. So they recommend this, what is it called? Calibro?
Okay.
Ricotta.
Okay.
And they do have it at the Whole Foods here.
Okay. So I couldn't find it here.
And I'm not sure that,
Yeah. We'll just see what happens.
We'll see what happens. I think both of us should take a picture of our ricotta as it's draining. And have that on record.
Okay. What does yours look like?
So I put mine in some cheesecloth.
In a bowl. Smart.
But yeah, yours doesn't look that different from mine. Yeah. Kind of looks like the cheese I ended up making earlier this week. So.
Oh, with that milk you had left, or was it milk? Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Only took 3 tries to make it happen. So. So I also disagree with their method of making breadcrumbs.
Okay, because the recipe says 2 large pieces of white bread torn into quarters and then put in the food processor.
Right, and then toast it.
And then toasted.
I've only really seen it done
the opposite.
The opposite, like you toast the bread and then turn it into breadcrumbs to retoast it. Since, especially for something like this where the breadcrumbs are going into the mix, I feel like their appearance is not essential,
Right. But their texture or their size and consistency could be, right? We don't know. It's a bold statement to disagree with Cooks Illustrated, Gretchen. Are you ready for this? Let's get going.
So I think I still need to, I was going to do a chopped parsley mincing demo.
I forgot to tell you, I actually don't like parsley. I kind of hate parsley. So I did double basil instead of parsley.
And see, when you make it yourself, you can make these choices.
Exactly.
And that's totally fine.
Exactly.
I don't understand people that don't like parsley, but okay,
Right.
That's fine.
Well, maybe one day we can have a conversation about how it's the most vile herb that's ever existed. No, I'm just kidding. I do hate it, but
I mean, I hate it. It's terrible. I do think it's the worst herb ever, but we can discuss.
But I do hate it. Just so clarity's sake, so we know where I stand. No, I'm just kidding.
I have a real deep appreciation for parsley, really, because I find it to be
on everything.
Yeah,
versatile.
like, well, yes, that is part of it. They do put it in everything. So one thing I wanted to point out, I'm going to show you my basil, and I'm not proud of my basil, so I'm going to say that right off the bat. Because I was like, well, at least I now have a demo of why I do this way. I don't like how this, so like it's kind of brown on the edges. That's also because I have not properly sharpened my knife, and my herbs were a little too wet too. So that'll actually like affect the quality of your chopping. So I
see.
I have a lovely little herb spinner. Soaked this in water for a little bit, in really, really cold water, like ice water. And then I spun it out in the spinner. And then I put it into this towel to let it dry, like really, really dry. To get really good quality, pretty, nice herbs, you want your herbs to be really dry.
Okay.
Your knife should also be sharp. Now I've thrown this on my diamond steel. This has diamonds embedded in it, so it's a little bit like more sharpening than just being straight up steel. But I was also thinking that this really takes me back because my first culinary job, I used to have chopped these like massive piles of parsley because we used it to garnish around the edges of the plates of every single dish.
See what I'm talking about? Okay, keep going. Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just flashing out.
I can understand because yes, parsley was overused, I think, for quite some time. But I will point out that do you like chimichurri sauce?
Yeah, I do, and that's a lot of parsley.
It's a lot of parsley. Like that is one of those times that parsley really, really shines, is like chimichurri sauce. So
I do know a little bit, but I never took any like basic skills classes. You know, like I never took like a knife skills or like how you were just like perfectly mincing this parsley in front of me.
Right.
Like,
so
I don't know. Yeah. So how is this exactly happening?
That's why I was like, I don't know how Becca has been taught to mince something. So I thought I'd do a little demo here. Every once in a while, I just sort of bring my knife underneath. And if my knife was really good and sharp, you shouldn't get too much of this chlorophyll being on your board. Like if I had a really good sharp knife, this would not be happening. But I'm a little bit lazy about the sharpness of my knife. So I do sharpen it on occasion, but not as often as I should be.
Okay, can I show you my mince?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm probably not going to take mine too much further, but you can definitely go further than this. All right, let's see yours. Actually, yours looks really good. Did you chop it right on there?
Yeah, I did.
Your knife must be nice and sharp.
We just got a new knife. When you said that about the chlorophyll, I was like, that's a huge difference between.
It's huge, yeah. Like,
the old knife.
And plus so like even you can tell from, let me put this in a little bowl and I'll show you the basil and the parsley side by side. Like you can see how much nicer and fresher the parsley looks compared to the basil. And that has to do with, I sharpened my knife a little bit more for this one.
Sure.
So
and it was drier, probably, right?
It was drier, yeah. This was a little wet still. I did wrap it in the towel like I did the parsley, but I didn't get it. I was like, it's probably dry enough. No, it wasn't dry enough. So that was like 2:00. So I was like, I got more. I gotta get stuff done.
Gotta go.
All right. So I've got my parsley minced.
Okay.
It's probably a little bit more than 2 tablespoons. And where is my recipe? Oh, that's right. So the next thing we're gonna do. So we were also discussing the fact that it says to drain the ricotta.
Right.
And mine drained out like maybe a teaspoon of liquid. And yours didn't drain any?
It drained some, for sure. I didn't really realize it until I lifted it up fully, but it just wasn't as like drastic as I thought it would be. Like when I opened it, I expected it to be like mozzarella in liquid, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, okay. Like this is...
well, that's okay. Yeah. Fine. Next.
So maybe that's partly why they recommend the Calabrio. What is this?
Oh, because of the amount of liquid.
Yeah, because it may not have as much liquid. Because they gave us a sort of a time limit on it. Like they were like, drain it for an hour, I think. And how long has yours been draining?
At this point, about an hour and a half.
Okay. So yeah, we're good to go.
So one thing to mention, it probably took me a good hour to get just a couple of ingredients prepped for this.
Yeah.
But this is the recipe, 20 minutes or something.
Actually, I don't know that it does.
Yeah.
This one doesn't actually give you the timing.
That's a good thing, because usually they're like 25 minutes, and I'm like, that took me 4 hours.
Yeah. No, the only thing it's specific about says place ricotta in line strainer, cover and refrigerate for an hour, and then preheat your oven. So it doesn't really say how long it should take. And plus, we're basically using the recipe for the gnocchi recipe versus the full recipe.
Gotcha. Yeah. Because we're adding mushrooms to our
we're gonna do like basically just a sautéed mushroom and butter sauce sort of deal. So I'm putting mine in my food processor.
Okay, so you're putting the whole thing of ricotta right in the food processor.
Yep. I did think it was said that to do it in stages, but I think I just looked at the recipe and it doesn't specify. So I think depending on how much you're making, obviously. So this is a pound of ricotta, and it fits in my small 4-cup work bowl. All right, so it says you want it to be until curds break down into fine, grainy consistency, which I'm assuming is just going to mean like a smooth thing. So it's saying 8 1-second pulses. So are you ready?
1 second. Let me get my lid on real quick. Ta-da. Okay, so we have to pulse 8 times.
8 1-second pulses. 1 1,000. 2 1,000. 3 1,000. 4 1,000. 5 1,000. 6 1,000. 7 1,000. 8. I'm not doing this right at all. And how about I just do that? Okay. I don't think 8 1-second pulses really did it for me.
Okay. Creamy.
Let's see yours. I'm gonna say now that I have to have you take it all up. Oh, you have a little thing. Okay, yours looks great. So I would stop. Yeah. My dad actually bought me a really nice new hand mixer this year, like a Cuisinart one that because I kept breaking the attachments for the one I had. Sorry, Hamilton Beach, but we got disqualified because I can't buy the parts separately.
Right. You can't be a repeat customer if you wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, I could. I guess the whole point is you have to chuck the whole thing and then do it again, but I don't want this to keep breaking. So mine's probably not quite as smooth as I'd want.
Okay.
Doesn't really matter that much, I don't think. Next, we're putting this into a bowl.
Okay.
I gotta find a spatula.
It's like little fluff or something. Marshmallow.
Huh?
It's like little marshmallow fluff or something.
Just tastes a little different, that's all. You know what I don't like about food processors?
What?
Cleaning them.
They are such a mess. In a bowl, we're combining ricotta, egg, basil, parsley, salt, and pepper.
Oh, no. Okay. I forgot. You know what I forgot to do, and I didn't put it on our pre-prep list because I didn't notice it, is the Parmesan. So I still have to grate my Parmesan.
Okay, cool. So the Parmesan
that goes in with the breadcrumbs and the flour, I believe. So I'm going to have to pause for a second. Do that because I wasn't paying attention.
I also have a lot more than half a cup of breadcrumbs.
Oh, well, I did 3 pieces of bread and ended up with only slightly more than a half a cup of bread.
Really? I did 3 pieces too because they were pretty narrow.
Huh.
And I have like 3 cups. I don't understand anything. How does this make sense?
I wonder, so I actually just got like an Italian batard, because I was like, I feel like it's less bread. I don't know why. It's probably about the same than like sandwich bread. Sandwich bread's a little bit more fine grain, so I wonder if that's part of it, is that it doesn't have like the gaps and holes like my bread did.
It's fairly dense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
All right, I put my herbs in. I need to put a little bit of pepper here.
Did you already do your egg?
I cracked it into a little bowl, and then it just says salt. Like, do they give me a measure? Highly recommend any sort of automatic grinder that does the gravity.
That's fun.
Because my pepper grinder is also it's also electric and has a button, but the one that does it when you automatically tilt it is, in my opinion, superior.
Salt and pepper.
This is what my mix looks like.
Ooh, pretty.
Take a picture of that.
Okay, great. This is such an interesting way to make gnocchi. I've heard of making it from potatoes and also just from like flour and egg. I have actually never heard of like a ricotta.
One of the restaurants I used to work in, they did ricotta gnocchi. It's just a lot easier to make.
Sure.
And you can even make it a little bit softer. So I get the impression that this is going to be a bit more dough-like, but it can even be a little bit softer, and like you could put it, like do it out of a piping bag straight into your hot water.
Right.
But that's a little bit more of an advanced technique. I didn't think that we really wanted to be starting with that. So
that sounds good to me. Yeah.
That's half the fun, is the, rolling it out.
Should I start adding my flour?
Yeah, you can go ahead and start.
Parmesan? So flour, Parmesan, and breadcrumbs.
That in there. And flour. So I got six tablespoons AP flour.
6, yeah.
Oh crap! I'm already throwing flour everywhere, and we haven't even got to the rolling yet.
Right, you're only 6 tablespoons in. So what's this? What's the consistency we're looking for in this?
Hold on, let me get there.
Do you have to mix still?
It too much. Why don't you show me yours where you're at?
Okay.
Because you've been pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe another couple of swooshes through there. Because I think you really just want it to come together and be really cohesive without mixing it much further than that. Yeah.
I see.
Because we're basically not really trying to make, develop the gluten in the flour.
Just combine.
Did you already cut up your mushrooms? Because I didn't.
I did not.
The Far West Fungi guy.
Oh, yeah.
He had morels today, so I bought some morels as well.
Are those like the hardest to clean?
Yeah, he's getting them from Alaska right now. So they're like freaking enormous. I'll show you one. Hold on. I still have them sitting here on the counter, so assuming we cover this in plastic wrap. Oh, it just says refrigerate. Okay. See if I can fit it in this fridge.
Okay, so gnocchi dough goes in the fridge.
Yep.
Again for the water. Are you a person who likes to clean up as you go? Or do you wait until you're done?
Oh, I try to at least move all the dishes towards the sink, but I don't often hit that mark.
Got it.
To be perfectly honest. So,
gotcha.
We'll see. We'll see how I do today.
We'll see. Okay, here we go.
I have been trying to move things out of my way because we are going to have to roll out here. So I was like, I have to make an extra effort to get things sort of moved off.
At least off the space.
If I was a really good chef, yes, I would clean as I go, because that is like they beat that into you at
clean your station.
Yeah, you got to keep your shit clean. So yeah, half the reason we decided on Maitakes is because I feel that they are the easiest to prepare, seeing as they're usually pretty clean and don't require too much chopping. Mine aren't very big. What does yours look like? Yeah, yours are pretty small, so really not even
just kind of tear them.
Yeah, not kind of cut a little bit off the base. Before I forget, look at this. Look at this.
Oh, wow. That's as big as your palm.
I know.
Wow.
Like, this is... It looks
like an acorn.
You know what it looks like on my little tiny screen? It's like, that looks like an enormous nug. Like,
oh, would that it were. Yeah.
I know, right?
Oh my god.
I have a little plant that's almost ready to be harvested, and like the plants on it are like they're not big, very big at all.
But they're getting there.
It should hold me over for most of the summer. It's a nice little pineapple haze. So
nice.
So basically, I was just gonna kind of rip them apart.
Okay.
And then I always save my little stems and stuff and
dry
them out. I was going to say, do you have a dehydrator or no?
No, I don't.
Because sometimes if I've got a lot of them, I throw them in my dehydrator and I dry them
save
up and
them?
I use them for mushroom stock if they're clean enough.
Oh, that's great. I've
Yeah,
been
I always
looking for stock options because I don't like the veg. I mean, because I'm a vegetarian, I don't like just the veggie broth options that are usually available at the markets, you know. And so I'm looking for like a way to get like a really like umami but not overly salty veggie broth.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm really sad. So I told you my brother and his wife, their flights all got canceled, so they're not coming.
So
I was
they
like,
can't
I can
come at
have them
all.
bring. Oh, I can't. Like I have a weird obsession with bouillon from Europe.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I actually have some really good like veggie bouillon from Europe.
Yum.
Because I'm a complete weirdo and I love me some bouillon. But
if you can find it, snatch it up.
Right? I was like, I can get that refilled on that now, and that was like, I can't.
No.
But I actually need to go look up at the Napa Valley Olive Oil Company because they have like some different stocks and things that they get in from Italy. So like I've got
nice.
like white truffle stock there, black stock, and porcini stock. It's my favorite place in town to get dinner. I don't know if they've been open for a minute, but they just posted something today that was like reopening means or deserves new artwork or something like that. So they were showing off their chalkboard that they have their menu on.
Okay. Something new happening then.
And order Porto Tonicos to go.
Oh, amazing.
I'm excited. Also, they list on their website what their Porto Tonico is made with. So I can get all the right ingredients now.
Yay. That's so exciting.
I know. I want Porto Tonicos.
I know, me too. I think I told you we found that wine shop that was really good here.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the only place I've seen that had white tonic. And so we grabbed it and like within like 1 weekend, I think, drank the entire thing with Porto Tonicos. We were like, well, that's gone. Okay.
That's a bummer. But
yeah.
Did I also tell you I ordered that have I told you about the protective hood that I found?
No. For what?
It's like PPE.
Oh, okay. I was like a hood, like for your car, like your oven, like what are you talking
for my head. For my head.
God. Okay, I like this. Where's it go? Okay.
Hold on. I'll forward you my shipment email because there's a picture of it in it. And you might disown me as a person once I.
Well, we'll see.
My hairstylist, I was talking about it, and she was like, "If I ever saw you wearing that, we wouldn't be friends anymore." So, it's like,
is it Darth Vader?
That makes me sad.
Yeah,
because I'm here for it. I like this thing.
This is the future.
So it's like a hood that goes over your whole head, and that has a face mask that goes like a face shield.
It's incredible.
It's amazing. Yeah, what sold me on it is somebody wrote, "I ordered this for my hospital job. It makes me feel so much safer." And I was like, okay, I will order it now.
That's a good vote of confidence. Also, how shitty. Why doesn't she have protective gear provided for her and she
I don't know.
Works at a hospital?
I don't know if she's a health direct.
Okay, yeah. That's true. Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, I want this. And then somebody was like, I work at a hospital and I wear it all the time. It makes me feel really safe. I was like, great. Then I might feel comfortable enough to leave my house.
Yeah.
I was also like, it would be good for gardening. Like,
there you go. That too. Yeah, you can just be outside and protected from the sun.
Yeah. I was like, this actually might be one of the most useful things I've ever ordered.
I'm so glad.
All right, so I finished my mushrooms.
Okay.
So I was tearing them up by hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the big bag of Maitakes when I was in the store today.
Nice.
So I was thinking, do you want me to do some rollouts and gnocchi first to show you how to do it?
Yeah, that'd be great. Let me get my dough out.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta get mine too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Although it probably won't take me very long. We also
I'll
need to
speed
make
it
sure
up.
we have a sheet pan, I think with just flour on it is what the recipe said.
This says to transfer it to a parchment paper lined rimmed baking sheet and repeat with remaining dough.
Okay, so they're doing parchment, not flour.
Right.
Just parchment. Because it did say to not work in a ton of flour.
So meaning like don't over flour your work surface.
Right.
Okay.
Oh my God. These are amazing. It's soft. It's very soft. So
Okay.
I think in reality, I might wait a little bit longer. Because if it's colder, it's going to be firmer.
Okay.
You saw I didn't put a ton of flour.
So it says roll a lemon-sized piece of dough into a 3/4 inch thick rope.
Yeah. So did you?
Yeah. Yeah. And then I'm just saying it out loud. Mine is sticking to the cutting board. Do I need more flour?
You probably need a little more flour.
Okay. So mine's pretty wet.
Part of this is that because you're going to have to incorporate some flour while you're rolling. I think that's partly why the dough is so soft. Basically, they don't want you to get tough, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's America's Test Kitchen that does a little bit more detail of like, this is why we did this way. But maybe I just need to go find the article that's associated with this gnocchi recipe and read it. So maybe next week I should read the things before we start recording.
Hey, all in good time. So one thing I'm noticing in rolling this out is that some of those bigger breadcrumbs are making it kind of weird.
Yeah, that's why I think it's kind of interesting that they were doing it that way.
So I have a gnocchi board, mysteriously.
You do? I was actually wondering before I got as far as like being like, oh, we should do that. I was like, I need to see how wet this dough is. As much as I would love to try to make it like proper gnocchi, I think this dough is just way too wet for that. I mean, all gnocchis basically it's a dumpling. That's what it is. When you use the board, you're basically giving yourself more surface area. I don't think we'd be able to do that with this dough because it's so delicate. I don't have one. So I would have to use a fork, which is another way to do it. I would be curious to see if it might work. I could try it.
Yeah, because you could just lightly press on it.
Maybe I will give it a go. Because actually, you could probably just take yours and very lightly roll them down the board.
Press it a little.
I'm gonna grab a fork, but I gotta get my hands clean first.
Yeah, mine are not totally consistent in size.
Well, neither are mine. So
yeah,
I mean, I could just kind of flatten them down with a fork. That would sort of work.
It's an option. Okay, wait. So the next steps. Let me understand real quick. So we're rolling this all out, cutting all the gnocchi, putting them on a baking sheet, and then the recipe says to boil them in the water.
Correct. This is one of those times when having a silicone thing to do this on is a real advantage. I mean, you could. Oh, I forgot to cut the rest of that roll.
That happens when
I lost track of it. It was too far down to the end of the counter.
Yeah,
I couldn't see it down there.
Can't see that far.
Oh, I did. I actually got myself an alcoholic beverage today. Went looking for the lowest alcohol wine I had in the house.
And what'd you end up with?
Some pretty tasty rosé, but I put it in the freezer so I could have frosé.
Nice.
Yeah, I think having the breadcrumbs not be a totally consistent size is causing some problems here.
I agree.
Which is fine.
I feel like I might have put in too many herbs.
How green are your gnocchi?
Pretty green.
Hey, they're just healthier.
Yeah, it's okay. Lots of
but is it basil? Basil, I think, has a lot of vitamin C.
Yay.
I have to double check that. I was gonna say parsley has a lot of calcium, but you're not using any parsley, so you're not getting that.
Well, that's good for everyone who is using parsley.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Good for you. Lots of calcium.
Good for you. Lots of calcium.
I don't think I'm gonna mess with bothering with the fork. It just doesn't seem worth it.
That's fair.
Well, I really like the flavor of my dough. It's really good.
That's important.
Well, it's got that going for it.
Yeah. I'm rolling. I'm almost done rolling out my last one, and then I'm like out of space on my board though, on my baking sheet.
Your sheet pan.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Meant to turn the water on already, but I did not. Did you?
Yeah, it's been going for like over an hour. I just keep adding water to it, which is probably not good, but that's what's happening.
I have the nice, but my stove has this lovely like power boil setting.
Fun. So you're ready to go in a minute.
Yeah, it will not take very long. Hi, Isabella. I see you. Poor thing.
Oh, this is a bunny, by the way, people.
Yeah, it's a bunny. Isabella is one of my rabbits.
One of 3.
Yeah.
And 2 of them are fighting.
2 of them are fighting. The girls are fighting.
Don't fight with women. Nobody fight with women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not very feminist of you ladies.
Yeah, get it together. Okay, I'm all rolled out.
Okay. I have one more chunk of dough to do.
I'm going to rinse my cutting board off then. What a mess.
I'm sorry. Now I'm the one that's slow. I don't know how you leapt ahead of me.
Well, I mean, they're not in great shape, but...
Mine are not. I mean, they're fine.
Okay, let me show you mine.
But they're not great. They're not works of art. Oh, yours are quite a bit bigger.
Yeah, is that the...
Actually, I might like that a little bit better, although it'll take them a little longer to cook.
Okay.
God, I did not read the recipe this week. I mean, like, I did read this recipe, but I don't remember anything on it.
Cut the rope into 3/4 inch long pieces. So this is bigger than that.
Yeah. But as I said, that might not be a disadvantage necessarily. So
okay, perfect.
Might have to
Are you going to use a nonstick or a stainless for the sauce?
I think I'm going to go with stainless just because my nonstick is a lot smaller. And since I've got so many mushrooms.
Yep, got it. You want that?
I want to give them space to properly cook.
That makes sense. Okay, we're finally getting close to beyond the gnocchi dough.
Come on, power boil. Work now.
I'm going to have a beer. I'm not a huge fan of beer, but I made us buy this weird guava thing.
Really?
And James hates it. And so I have 3 more to get through. But James usually drinks any beer. He'll drink anything usually. So it's like, oh no, this is really bad if I have to do it myself.
My frosé got a little frozener than I wanted it.
A little more slushy.
It's not too bad. I'm laughing at the way you said get through it because that's I have some pineapple beer I bought last year. It's still in my fridge, my other fridge. I'm like, I gotta get rid of this shit. Like,
I know.
I'm never gonna drink this.
No. Well, I was just thinking, like, I just saw him and I was like, maybe if I do it while I'm cooking, I won't pay as much attention to it. So I'll just try to drink it faster.
That's fair. So we're gonna multitask a little bit here.
Okay, I'm ready.
We're cooking our dumplings. We're gonna cook our sauce.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put a little bit of grapeseed oil in my pan, and we minced up a shallot.
What temperature are you doing this pan at?
I'm doing half medium heat, half heat, medium heat. Now I didn't factor in putting any garlic into this, but I'm always good to. I don't know if you have a garlic press, but do you want garlic in it?
I don't have a garlic press. I probably won't do garlic now for this pass.
Okay. I was just thought I'd throw it out there because I was like, I meant to put it in there.
Yeah, we could see what the difference is.
I didn't let that heat up enough. The high part. I got the high part on today.
Check.
Check.
I'm going to read through the next steps out loud so I have an idea. Okay. Melt butter in 12-inch skillet over medium-high heat, swirling until butter is browned and releases nutty aroma, about 1.5 minutes. Off heat, add shallot and sage, stirring until shallot is fragrant, about 1 minute. Really? Wow, I would have cooked the shallot longer. I don't know what the experts say, but 1 minute.
I was gonna say I'm definitely I'm already cooking my shallot.
Oh, you are? I want to put mine in then because I don't like.
Wait, you should wait a minute because I put mine in too early. So
okay.
Since we turn them on at the same time, I can give you an idea of when to throw yours in. Hold on.
Okay, got it. My pan is still heating up a little bit.
Because I definitely was like, I'm gonna throw this in here, and it was like nothing happened. Although you are also working with, does your stove seem to heat up pretty quickly?
It does actually. Yeah, overall, I mean, it's an adjustment for sure, and I'm still learning them. But it's a green building, and I'm kind of like, that's fine. There are sacrifices. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
It'll work. All right,
Yeah.
you can probably put yours in now.
Okay.
My pot is also boiling, so I'm going to throw some pasta in.
Okay, how many are you going to do at a time?
I might do a quarter of the sheet pan worth
Okay.
at a time.
Okay. And how long are you going to do it for?
I don't know. That'll be a little bit of touch and go. So
Got it. Okay, so you haven't added butter yet. You just still, your shallots are in grapeseed oil.
Yeah, my shallots are just going right now. And these are very soft, so I'm going to have to drop them in like one at a time. Be careful though.
Yeah, it's going to be dangerous.
These are definitely splashing back at me. Maybe their recipe has suggestion on
How to do it?
how to do it without burning the fuck out of yourself. But I'm just going to be here being a sloppy bitch. So
Got it. Just go for it.
my favorite way to cook, sloppily.
Right? No rules.
There are some rules, but
Some rules. Some important. But or do your knife work before you smoke. That is important to podcasting.
yes.
Life podcasting.
Read the recipe. Also,
Read the recipe.
very important.
Good start there.
Oh,
Okay.
shoot. All right. My shallots are a bit brown.
Okay.
Not too brown, so I am going to throw in my mushrooms.
Okay, so add mushrooms.
Yeah. My gnocchi are pretty close to done.
Okay. How long was that? And how can you
I mean,
tell?
that was like 2 minutes. They look really pretty soft. I might give them another minute. Wait, let's read the recipe.
Sure it says. Maybe it
How do
says.
we do that? Oh, okay. About 2 minutes after they float to the surface and stay. So mine are at the float at the surface and stay.
Got
I think
it.
they've probably been up there for about a minute. I'm going to give them
Okay.
another minute.
I added some olive oil to my pan.
Okay.
No.
I'm using grapeseed oil just because it's at a little bit higher heat
Okay.
tolerance than olive oil.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to take the gnocchi straight from the water into my dish. I'm not going to put mine in yet, right?
Put your what?
My gnocchi in the water.
Oh, okay. No, if you're trying to go straight in, yeah. I'm gonna cook my mushrooms and stuff down,
Okay.
and I'm gonna take my gnocchi out of the water. And it looks like it's probably time
Okay.
for that. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil on them just to keep them sticking.
Okay. So what'd you put them in? Just a bowl?
I'm just putting them on a plate right now.
Got it. Okay.
Probably should have just put a little oil on the plate and then put them on the plate. That would have been the smartest thing to do.
Smart.
Oh my god, that's a lot of oil. I might just use a little bit of my rosé to make my sauce.
Okay.
I'm just going to move that to the back, and then I'm going to do my searing over here.
Okay.
Let's see. Can I get the pan in there? Yes, I can. All right. Take a little bit of oil off of this gnocchi. Put it on my pan. This is by no means the way I would do this if I was doing it properly. I would just add oil that had not been on gnocchi already.
Right.
There's a little bit of
Sanitary.
things in there.
Yeah.
I'm
Sorry.
actually going to taste my gnocchi, make sure it's cooked,
Uh-huh.
in case it's not.
Okay. Right.
Oh. Very hot,
Mm-hmm.
very tasty.
Mm-hmm. Important.
I almost think I could have left it in the water a little bit longer.
Okay. I might get some of mine going then. So 2 minutes past the rising to the surface part.
Right. So they got to float completely to the surface. And then you wait 2 more minutes.
Okay. I've got herbs coming out. And then what are we looking for on the mushroom sauce side with the mushrooms?
So we're just going to get the mushrooms kind of cooked down.
Uh-huh.
Mine are a little bit browning, but not too much.
Okay.
And then, so mine look like, they're pretty well cooked. So I think I'm going to add just a little bit of my my frosé in here.
Okay. And I have Chardonnay.
Perfect. Yay, frosé.
And then how much?
And then I think I'm going to finish this with a little bit of butter in a minute.
So this is lemon. So we're replacing lemon with wine?
Right.
Okay, got it. So that.
Yeah, we're done with the recipe now.
I see. We're off recipe.
We are off recipe.
We are off recipe, people. We've gone power up. Our first power up.
Our first power up. All right. So I'm searing the gnocchi.
All right.
And we'll see if this will actually work because I just already tried to flip them and half the gnocchi stuck on the pan. So this might not be the right kind of gnocchi for this.
Mine are at the surface. They've probably been up there for about a minute. And mine are kind of thick, so I'm going to let them sit just a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think you're gonna be more like at least maybe 5 or 6 minutes since yours are much bigger.
Okay. Are we gonna salt the mushroom sauce?
Sorry, what?
Are we gonna salt the mushroom sauce? Do we do it at the end?
Yeah. Go ahead. And I already did some salt and pepper in mine.
Oh, you did? Okay, got it. Sea salt or?
Yeah. I actually have pink Himalayan. Does not really matter. Salt is salt at this point. Oh, that'll work. Found some herb butter in my fridge here that
Jackpot.
I need to use. So I'm adding that to my mushrooms. That's my second
Then we might
power
have
up.
the same amount of herbs now.
What?
Your second we'll have the same amount of herbs now.
Yeah. Say I'm not feeling too confident about my gnocchi searing skills here.
Got it.
Oh, it's not gone well.
Oh no. Are they
these
sticking?
are not the right kind.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no. Do we have to abandon this batch?
All right. Well, that was fun.
Now we know that. I think I'm gonna take these out.
Okay. Either I needed a lot more oil. Yeah, I think I would have had to basically kind of half deep fry those.
Uh-huh.
But I have an idea. I'm gonna grab some of my water out of the gnocchi pot.
Okay.
Put it in this pan where I seared the gnocchi.
Okay.
Because they technically crisped, but the bottom's just all stuck to the pan instead of sticking to the gnocchi.
I see. Your mushrooms are not on heat anymore, right?
I still have the heat on low.
Okay. I need to add some butter. They're starting to get.
Because I'm going to add this gnocchi bottom reduction to it. Okay. So this is how you can turn your mistakes into something that's not that bad.
Gonna be amazing, I guarantee. I ended up making a batch of gnocchi and then putting it on a plate just because I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I didn't know exactly when the sauce was going to be done.
So one of the good things about, so I don't know if you've done a lot of pasta cooking and things like that. They tell you to take the pasta water and put it in the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
It's because the starch that comes out of the
pasta.
The pasta helps thicken your sauce.
That's so great. Can I show you the inside of this one? Is this done?
Does it taste a little doughy in the center?
A little bit.
Yeah, then I'd say they need a few more minutes.
And that was one of the smaller ones.
Yeah, so I definitely let them cook for, how long were they in?
I didn't time it. Probably 5 minutes.
Wondering if I've just gone a little too far under on the kneading. I wonder if it could have handled a little bit more stirring.
A little more.
A little more activation of
combining.
Gluten. Yeah.
Got it. It's holding though.
Yeah, mine's holding together. So I'm turning the heat off on my mushrooms.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna add my dumplings right in here.
Okay. Oh, sage. I forgot to. Are we mincing sage? What are we doing with sage?
Oh, I wasn't even gonna
mince. You're not going to?
No.
Oh.
Especially since I just put herb butter in mine. It's I think it's got
right.
Maybe.
Good point. I do have a lot of basil over there.
Chopped parsley.
Getting close.
Mm-hmm. Did I just not put very many in here this time? I put 7 in this batch that I'm cooking right now.
Is it your last one?
No.
Weird.
I got distracted or something. Who the fuck knows? I'm going to be eating this for 4 days.
It's a lot of pasta.
At least you have another person there to help you with yours.
So. That's true. A lot of help.
Mine needs a little more salt. I think I put so much pepper in there. I'm glad I didn't put any garlic in.
Oh yeah.
Because I went a little over the top with the.
Okay, I'm gonna pull my second batch out.
Okay.
And hope they're okay, and then plop my first one back in. I guess I should be timing, but it looks really wrinkly all around, so I think that might be my signal. I said it looks really wrinkly all around, so I think that'd be my signal. And then I'll only have one more batch after the second one, or the first one goes again.
Well, I just threw all of mine in there, so I'm going for it.
I like it.
Put that back up to power boil, so to move everything around a little bit.
Okay, now let's check this batch. I think this one is done. I don't want to overcook them.
I mean, the nice thing about I think, that looks pretty good.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know you were looking. I pulled it away.
I caught it as you were pulling it away. So it basically looked consistent all the way through.
Okay.
So that's kind of what you're looking for.
Great. Were you saying the good thing about this kind of sauce is that it will cook a little bit still in there?
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But also, I mean, this isn't really a sauce, but yeah, you definitely, if you have a little bit more liquid, mine's kind of the liquid's gone now. But
Got it. Okay, last batch.
forgot how much this is said it will serve.
I think
How many meals am I gonna have this? Oh, it says 2 to 3
small.
is a main.
Yeah. So what sauce did the restaurant you worked at before that served like a ricotta gnocchi? What did they usually do with it?
So they actually I think the last place I worked, they just did a mushroom, like basically the same thing, but we seared the gnocchi first. But I think they had a little bit more flour. They didn't use breadcrumbs.
Yeah, I know
So that was definitely a departure for me.
Or your typical gnocchi making.
They're very gelatinous. That's the That's me shaking them and them flopping around a little bit.
Yeah.
Smells really good though. Yeah, if I had a little more patience to deal with. Oh shoot. Oh good. Yay! I got them all. Thought I'd missed some. All right, so mine's done. It's not.
Okay.
It's not my best effort.
Pretty.
It's fine.
Kinda. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not what I was hoping for. But I was trying to follow the recipe. I was trying to be gentle.
Yeah.
But probably my gentle is a lot more gentle than most people's gentle, I would think.
Sure. My gnocchi to mushroom ratio is a little off. I added the first 2 batches that were done to this sauce just to get it going. But it's funny. Looks like beef brisket and biscuits or something.
Because they're so big? Is that what you're saying?
Kinda. Yeah, the mushrooms I'll show you. The mushrooms to me are they're kind of like shredded a little.
Oh, nice.
So,
I think yours looks better than mine.
Oh, maybe the bigger pieces.
Bigger pieces.
Not on purpose. The green is fun inside all the basil inside the gnocchi is kind of pretty too.
So basically the recipe that I'd done before was basically this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure I buy the breadcrumb, although that's not that unusual for doing something that's a dumpling.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm not sure I'm necessarily down with this recipe, but maybe I need to try it again.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, this is cool though, because I'd never even heard of making gnocchi like this.
I mean, yeah, the play. I mean, this is basically almost the same recipe that I used for years.
Yeah,
years. I can't remember how long I worked at that place. I don't feel like it was years, but maybe it was.
Could be lifetime ago. Either way,
it was before I moved to California. So
yeah, so really,
that was 12 years ago. So
it has been a while.
It's been a minute. So I'm just looking over, and Aria and Potter both hang out together in the same cage, and they're all like sprawled out. It's really cute.
The other 2 bunnies.
Got to name my bunnies after Game of Thrones characters because that's how often they die. So,
that's so sad and so funny. Oh,
that's life. Sad
life imitating art.
One of the bunnies I follow on Instagram had a tumor in its chest. Died really suddenly last week. I was like, and that's what happened to Sir Barristan. Except he basically I couldn't even tell he was sick until the day he died. You know, that's how good they are at hiding things. Anyway, you were gonna say something before I went on.
I have like 30 seconds left on doing this last batch for 7 minutes, which I think is probably the sweet spot.
All right.
So I'm gonna start taking these guys out. And
my gnocchi is so sad.
Oh, you little guys.
I suppose it would have been better if I'd stopped and gone, this is very soft. I might work this a little bit more. And then instead of just being like, I'm going ahead.
It's done now.
I'm wondering if resting it a little bit longer would have been better too, given liquid more time to absorb into the flour and the bread.
Mm-hmm.
So
we have a couple of we would do differently things.
Yeah.
Quite a few.
Did I take a picture already or no?
Oh no, I didn't take a picture at all except for the ricotta in the beginning. Oops.
We're doing terrible at this.
I know. Well, we're doing great. We're just still learning.
Yeah, getting there. And then slowly.
And then I ended up putting a little bit of sage, the minced sage, on mine too.
Oh, that's fine. I just decided not to.
So here is the finished product.
Ooh, yeah, yours look much better than mine.
Aw, Poor little dumplings.
I like how big yours are too. I think
Yeah,
might have just gotten like, did I get them too small? Maybe they're meant to be bigger.
Well, that's not what the recipe said. So depending on how they taste, I will let you know.
Yeah. Yes.
Could be a real backfire.
We'll confer about that. I'm distracted by the rabbit.
Yeah. Well,
apparently I'm done now.
I guess we're done. Yes,
I guess we're done.
Nothing else to cook.
No.
Okay.
Just the cleanup and eating.
Yeah. So you enjoy and I'll enjoy. And then everyone else enjoy at home.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week.
All right.
Okay.
Or in 2 weeks, whenever we figure out what our actual schedule is going to be.
Figure out what we're doing.
The next time. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
See you next time.
See you next time. Okay. Bye.
Bye.